What's going on, guys? This weekend's co-main event sees Dan Ige atop of the division contender, riding a little bit of a skid. He takes a step back and welcomes a journeyman who has reignited his career with 4 straight wins in Damon Jackson. On the lines, each fighter is being given their respect. Dan Ige, with wins over Edson Barbosa and Mirsad Bektic, comes in as the slightly more respected -122. Although he's 1-4 in his last 5, all of these losses come by decision. On the other side of the octagon stands Damon Jackson, who's riding a 4-fight win streak and comes in at exactly 50-50 at plus 100 odds. He has a significant height advantage, but the reaches are identical. Today, we'll have a look at both fighters' notable performances and try and leave you with the best bet and help you avoid a bad bet. So without further ado, let's get straight into this video. First off, we can take a look at a longtime mixed martial artist in Damon Jackson, who started fighting all the way back in 2009. Damon Jackson has a wrestling background. He was an NAIA All-American at Missouri Valley College. He's deeply experienced in the sport and has fought in a diverse group of different American organizations before finding his way to the UFC for his second stint with the company. He was in the UFC in 2014 and subsequently cut in 2016. Since then, one of the most significant changes to Jackson and his training would be his weight class. He'd take his talents from the 155-pound division down to the 145-pound division, and he'd then go to LFA and PFL, gaining experience and wins before re-entering the UFC. Against Kamuela Kirk, Damon started the fight with a tight guard and focused on fundamental high guard dirty boxing. Jackson was in sort of a full pursue mode, not preferring to be at range with the looser striker. The volume was on the side of Jackson, and by the latter half of the first round, the Jackson pressure appeared to start breaking his opponent. He rocked Kirk multiple times before taking Kirk down and using his own grappling skills to control the rest of the round. The second round would be a masterclass in control wrestling by Jackson. Coming out of the gate hot, he controlled, landed a takedown, and ultimately submitted Kirk, adding him as his 13th submission win. In Damon's fight against Pat Sabatini, we see that Jackson also has power in his strikes. Going into the fight as a grappler versus grappler kind of aura, it was Jackson rocking Pat on the feet and landing brutal ground and pound on his way to a first round finish. Jackson has stumbled on his career resurgence, however. Back in 2020, he took on one of the hardest hitting featherweights in Ilia Topuria, and Topuria really bullied Damon the whole 2 minutes this fight lasted. Ilia doubled Jackson in strikes and landed 18 nukes to the body, where Topuria was able to put the full power of each strike into every body shot. The fight ended with Topuria landing a huge body shot that pulled the air out of Jackson, which caused Jackson's guard to go down, and then a nuke overhand that put the final seal on the contest. Moving on to Danny 50K Ige, he's an extremely durable and extremely tough fighter. He's never been finished in his career and has competed in the UFC since 2018 with 12 appearances. He's been on a win streak as long as 6 fights and has fought some of the best at 145 pounds. His most recent loss came against Movsar Evloev. The fight started as a back and forth big shot fest, with Movsar landing a massive high knee that changed the tides completely in his favor in the round. The rest of it was mostly Evloev dominating and controlling the back of Ige, while Ige defended takedowns and damage. Striking wise, although the whole fight was really close, Evloev seemed to have the advantage just slightly. Even being known as primarily a grappler, he showed some serious stand-up skills in this fight. My major takeaway from this fight is Ige can be taken down, and that could possibly provide a way out for the Jackson backers. Although Ige doesn't have many knockouts, the threat is still there. The Gavin Tucker fight is a perfect example of this. Ige was more explosive than Jackson in my opinion, and this is why within the first minute of the Tucker fight, I recognize this is a perfect shot in a perfect spot, but both guys threw and Ige would land a clean finish a couple seconds into the fight. He's also rocked Danny Henry and finished him. And in addition to the striking of Ige being very, very explosive, Ige's fight with Jordan Griffin displays that he has his own takedown game, again, very much based on explosiveness. My final thoughts on the fight, taking a look at the fight with both competitors in mind, I think it's a very close fight in terms of stand-up. Ige with more of his explosive boxing and leg kicks, whilst Jackson relies on pressure, dirty boxing primarily, to get the fight to where he likes it to be, which is on the mat, and puts the side of up kicks. He throws a lot of up kicks to the body, up kicks to the head, and knees. Jackson's stand-up also uses a little bit of that takedown threat again to improve his openings. If you're siding with Jackson, you're worried a little bit about him suffering that loss to the explosive striker in Topuria. While if you're siding with Ige, you'll have to be worried about Jackson's wrestling and pressure that might lend itself nicely to winning a decision or wear Ige out towards the end of the rounds. I think both guys have amazing gas tanks. Both guys are extremely durable in most cases. And for the wrestling, I think Jackson has the advantage. Ige is a wrestler in his own right, but Jackson prefers this style and has a very large background in it, being the NAIA wrestler. With that in mind, I might be falling into a trap and might catch a fat L with Ige KOing Jackson or multiple knockdown domination, but that's just a risk you take when you're gambling on mixed martial arts and the lines are this close. But I think the value in this fight is on the underdog Damon Jackson. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and also make sure you look at subscribing to our YouTube memberships. $4.99 a month, you'll be access to a private Discord where I post my gambling picks, and through November and December, since I have started recording and posting picks in those channels, we are up significantly. It's basically an investment that's guaranteed profit month over month so far. But without further ado, that'll end this video. Make sure you guys check out the next one. We'll be taking a look at another best bet for this fight night. But that'll wrap up today's video, guys. Peace out.